with this Darkseer pick, it's even more apparent that LGD has to be super careful with their egg usage, because right now only Bloodseeker can hit the egg, but if you don't place it in a position where the Marcy can defend the egg and the Mask can, you know, like defend the other heroes, I think you're just gonna straight up lose the fight, because I don't think they have an answer for Darkseer.
Okay.
Yeah, I think what happens in this offlane is really important. As you mentioned, there's a really good partner for the in the clockwork as well, so they can potentially make things difficult mid too, and just make this whole mid game very hard to play for LGD.
Yeah,
I
I
love
heard
both
that.
lineups, but I think Team Spirit has a little bit more advantage.
Let's find out though. Who's gonna win the first game of this best of 3 series? The two voices that will take us through it, Cap and SVG.
Currently, there is no Chinese team invited to TI. Coming from a region that was one of the most dominant regions in Dota 2, this is a bit of fall from grace, but this is an opportunity for PSG.LGD, just like so many times in the past, Avery, to carry the torch once again.
On the responsibility, some might say, the legacy. How does this game affect Zhao 8's legacy?
That's a good point, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of talk about Zhao 8 as a coach and after and where he fits into it. You were obviously a big fan, having studied Zhao 8's game when you were a player.
I mean, we were discussing, right? I think there were some people giving Zhao 8 some flack, saying he's an overrated drafter. I only have one thing to say to those people. You can go fuck yourself. Let's get into this game. There's massive AoE on. There's vacuum into disruptor ultis, vacuums into cogs, chain into the shells going in with the clockwork, and the Bloodseeker getting surged up even more MS with the Flayed Twins here. Spirit's lineup is indeed a classic CIS lineup here. It's got everything you want. I feel like I'm watching VP from 10 years ago. And on LGD, it's like their style, the Chinese team fight, which is big ultimates on the supports that are comboed up by some frontliners in the cores that go in, stun people, lock them down, and let the damage rain through with kind of a niche carry pick to give you the objective taking later on. This is a very interesting clash of styles. I feel like these two lineups are so indicative of the regions they come from.
What do you think it is about the choice in carry for Shiro all the time? That it is always a niche, or very often a niche pickup. Do you think it's playing to his strength, or do you feel like it offers PSG.LGD a strategic advantage?
I think it's him as a player to some degree. I don't think you can necessarily force these types of picks on carry player, especially if they're not super comfortable with them. But I think Shiro is definitely comfortable playing this style. I think it's something LGD is maybe experimenting with to give some more like breathing room in the draft, maybe. If they feel like he can play like some of these first pick broods that turn out to be his hero, right?
Yeah.
Then it frees up some picking for the other heroes, which if you look at this LGD, it's kind of been you who's playing the most constricted hero pool. But I don't know if it's been his hero always first phase. It's kind of mixed. So it ends up being a very peculiar drafting order. Of course, NTS has played Primal Beast, feels like half the games at this tournament as well. So something I think LGD does have to figure out is where does the hero flexibility come in and who are you using it for? Because if it is for Shiro with these later niche picks, and a lot of their earlier picks for New and NTS make more sense.
Right.
But if he also ends up playing a constricted hero pool, then like you just become too predictable as a team. I feel like some of his picks are just to try and throw some curveballs in there.
Early blood grenades being used to try and battle away at this, what is, I would say, a kind of difficult lane. Silencer is not going to play well into Clockwork with an Ion Shell. And Marcy does have sustain. That is the big hope here, that Shiro will be able to, through the lifesteal, stay alive against all these Ion Shells, but I still think it's going to be a rough one.
I think the level 3 is where you're very worried.
Yeah.
Lock Darkseer level 3 is almost a guaranteed kill. It's like the Nyx Darkseer. If you step out, you're just done. You get vacuumed in, your cog, you're absolutely gone. So level 1 is where they can punish this lane and try and get some good trades going, especially with Curse landing on multiple heroes. And Team Spirit are really playing this lane aggressive.
Yeah, they are.
They are getting a lot of early trades and they have the salve, so they're kind of setting up for this kill later. Honestly, I'm not sure you have to trade this aggressively early on. I think the way Shiro's playing is pretty decent. Everybody low on this lane, I think you are happier as LGD. As long as you don't feed first blood, you die later, you don't mind too much.
Sure. Well, I mean, at the same time, maybe they're doing it so aggressively so Yotaro has a better lane as well, right? they're burning through all those tangos from PSG.LGD, but then there's also Yutoro, who is really benefiting off of it with his thirst stacks.
Definitely helps, especially as he gets higher levels into that thirst, and you have Glimpse to force the trades up here.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of damage on him. God's Rebuke pushes them back. They're going to keep going? Yeah, I think they're just going to try and keep chasing him down. The Blood Right, not even needed. Maposhka is the one to pick up the first blood, thanks to the Blood Grenade.
And where was Planet?
Good question. Was he sniping couriers or what?
No idea. He had like a range creep go back to his tower he had to deal with, but then he just ran to camps. Very awkward exchange for New. He's going to glimpse top as well. Just a lot of free trades going on the safe lane for Team Spirit. And of course, it's a Bloodseeker lane with a Disruptor with a crap ton of regen. So Team Spirit are happy to take these trades every single time.
Collapse. Shiro. Ooh. Another safe lane that almost manages to get the kill, but Shiro opts not to overcommit there, especially into the Ion Shell that's on all these creeps. Gotta be careful with that. But yeah, we're gonna see a lot of consumable gold spent early on here with all of these trades, all this regen that's required in lane, the blood grenades coming out constantly.
Both these teams want to win some of the early skirmishes, so you set that mid game up better for yourself, especially Team Spirit, since I think plays like Disruptor, Clock, Darkseer lineups pretty much are going to run at the enemy. It's guaranteed. You don't have a choice in what your heroes do. So you need to weaken LGD so that when you start running into them, they're in a position where they get routed and you can glimpse them back and run them down with the cog shells. Team Spirit really want to be ahead, at least in the support levels.
See, I was going to say the opposite, because I look at, we've got Mars and Primal Beast. I feel like those are killer heroes that if you don't get kills in the mid game, you just fall off.
That's the interesting dynamic here, is Primal kind of wants to do the same thing. I think Mars can play either style. Like, Mars can sometimes play these games where you run into him, and he just plays off of bracers and, like, early tankability. But in general, I do feel like LGD, they're going to be pushed here because they also have been the weaker laning team. So I kind of expect them not to be the hyper aggressors in this match, but maybe let Spirit go into them and overextend so they don't end up in a bad position.
Sure.
That said, I mean, it is NTS on Primal. He has been very aggressive with his hero, as you are supposed to. And he's gonna get some damage on Mira. Might be kill?
Yeah, he's gonna be able to run him down. So an early pickup for Nothing to Say, punishing Mira for trying to secure water runes and such. Does leave Collapse alone in lane, but I think he's happy to take the solo experience.
A pretty damn good start for NTS here. He is pulling ahead in mid CS-wise a little bit, and region-wise as well.
That was you cannot afford to miss spears like that one, you.
No. Still a strong lane at the level 3 for LG. Level 2 Fire Spirits is no joke up here. Disruptor is going to get outmatched during this period, and you can't aggressively go on you anymore because those spirits are dissuading your Bloodseeker and putting in the damage. The side lanes for LGD are honestly going pretty well, I think. Especially their safe lane. They played the early waves down there really well and set themselves up nicely. And now they're kind of just cruising through this lane because Mira has fallen behind on levels. He's still level 2.
Yep.
Did not go for the cog. We've seen this more and more, but the downside is your kill threat's a little lower and Shiro's fighting you. Like, he is just straight up killing
them
you
together.
right
Gets the two-man stun as well. Blood grenade on the two of them as well. Boy, that was a nice synchronization of ability there.
Picking out.
Yeah, Collapse is definitely going to die here, I think. Y actually turns around last second.
I don't think he would have gotten that hit in.
Really?
Good amount of regen here with the ring, the mango, extra wand, but still, it's LGD winning these trades, right? And it's putting Shiro in a very strong spot. He actually caught Collapse. Can't make anything of it, though. And we're back to a familiar sight, Cap.
A pause game?
Oh, boy.
We've seen a couple of these in our time.
Oh, boy, did I read so much lore for them.
He was grinding. He's been reading up. He stayed up all night to study the lore just for you guys.
Just a quick pause here.
Got away just before the vacuum. He gets pulled back down from that jump. Then maybe they actually die, but instead Collapse is going to be taking that damage over time once again. And at this point in time, I almost feel like Collapse wants to die, man.
This is miserable, yeah. This is not the position you want your Darkseer clock in during the clock's prime on the lane, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, his combo can do a lot in the early to mid transition for sure. Like, you can just run around the map. It's one of the fastest combos. But this just feels bad in terms of laning because Collapse is losing so much time. His net worth is just falling behind the rest of the pack here. He has to walk back to base. Lowest on the CS as well. And LGD really played this safe lane well. I liked the early trades they did because the level 1, they're definitely stronger. So they got a lot of value out of that. And I can't help but feel like Team Spirit almost overtraded during that period.
Sure.
I don't think they had to push and pressure that as much as they did. I would have just played for like the level 3, abuse the big camp pull, bring the silencer out of the lane, and kill him up there in the open area. That's just like a guaranteed way to make this lane miserable for Y. Instead, kind of just got to sit under his tower, get value trades, open up the small
Nice
camp.
glimpse back. That's going to be pretty big. Shiro is going to be able to get a little bit of hop, but the Surge is going to help chase him down. The kinetic field block him in as well. They're going to be able to toss Mira away, vacuum to back in, but he's going to fight the clockwork, gets that kill, and now Panic comes in, slowing down all the attack speed. Shiro's going to be fine. In fact, they're going to pick up all 3 of these kills. PSG.LGD. All right, they know he's around here somewhere. He couldn't have gone far. Moposhka, nice little juke. But
Someone's faster here.
I mean, he does have glimpse in kinetic field.
Oh, the chains.
Yeah, the chains, he's dead. He's gonna get glimpse back,
Oh
and that is the kill. Moposhka lives and gets the kill on the carry, but Yutaro dies to the rotation from nothing to say. First one of the mid laners, net to kill a piece.
That's definitely an overall good exchange for LGD because they get the Bloodseeker pop. Moposhka gets so much XP out of killing Shiro there, and Shiro definitely sad about it, but he was pretty low anyway, so I think he's okay with the trip to base there.
Sure.
More importantly for LG, you're shutting down Collapse on this Darkseer, and that is huge because it is a Darkseer lineup, right? It's a last pick Darkseer. The Darkseer's here to enable everybody else here.
Three melee heroes he's playing with. Yeah.
It's not just you're shutting down the Darkseer, you're shutting down the Claw combo, you're shutting down the Disruptor Vac combo, you're shutting down the Bloodseeker Ember with extra damage. It's gonna be catch-up duty for Collapse, which means a much slower game for Team Spirit than they might have liked here. All 3 cores for LGD taking prime position. Hammer already done for Niu as well. Kind of an old school Mars build.
Yeah, I think the hammer build kind of implies what you were talking about earlier. You can play a slower game on Mars. I feel like the hammer does kind of reflect that build rather than trying to go for these faster blink daggers and such.
I don't really like the blink rush, but I don't know what else you can go. Shiro's gonna have to fight his way out of here.
Yeah, they made heavy rotations to top lane. Now they're gonna try and rotate back. The Spear's gonna come through, doesn't latch onto Laurel, gets the kill on Mira instead. And I don't think they'll be able to get anything else out of this, as Laurel should have a remnant up and ready to go.
Did Entius not see him there?
Yeah, I was just
That
wondering.
was a kill if he saw him. There's no mana left on this Ember.
Might just been a nighttime advantage sort of thing.
Yeah, I think he was just in the fog. That is a fortuitous remnant placement.
Running into Moposhka should be an easy kill. Pulverizes him down to the ground. Give him a short little bump. And nothing to say. Off to a pretty good start on his. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. That is all 4 heroes from Team Spirit with a rupture on top of it. It's not the funnest game to play this hero against Bloodseeker, but you're going to get some additional shutdown.
Disruptor, Clockwork, Ember Chains. It is a very tough Primal Beast game on paper. So the faster NTS can get BKB in this game, the happier he's going to be. Now, his BKB is very strong. That is one problem with some of these old school Darkseer lineups. They're very magic damage oriented. So there's pretty much only Rupture for BKB control and not a lot of damage to put into it. Means Yatoro is going to have to get big in this game to deal with those timings from LGD. Because you're eventually going to have probably 3 BKB cores later on in this game. Maybe Niu doesn't get one, but the other 2 for sure at a certain point.
Right.
And you're just probably going to go Battle Fury into BKB here for Shiro. There will be that farming item for the Marcy.
Nice last hit there from Yutaro, taking the deny away from Niu. So that'll slow down the Blink Dagger timing a little bit, but the Meteor Hammer is already coming into effect.
It's getting rich up here. And again, I don't think LGD have a lot of inclination to just head-on rush into Team Spirit. They're kind of happy to play a little bit of a slower game, get their support ults up, all 3 lanes with their cores, and kind of react to what Team Spirit wants to do. Like, they're going to sit Shiro bottom. Shiro, he went Treads, he has Bracer, he has extra stats from Pigpole. This is a tanky Marcy. If Team Spirit want to go on him here, I expect LGD to make this turnaround play.
Shiro gonna go for it, but the Surge gets him away from the stun. Play the distance against Shiro, slow him down with the wall, kite him out.
Yeah, but look, LGD insta TP3 to counteract this play, and they smoke 2 up the lane.
You run out, Niu's gonna catch you, barely gets collapsed inside the arena, but does indeed get the kill.
I think LGD have the right read of this game. They pretty much know Team Spirit, they're only going to be able to make plays into this Marcy lane. As long as you're ready to counterplay it, I don't think Marcy can get bursted fast enough before the once comes in, and then you're happy to take that fight. So you have Egg back up as well. I don't know if they needed everybody down here for that, but I guess they can also sit Mars here and let Shiro farm jungle. Still, it is crushing the momentum for Collapse in the game. He's 0-2. He's not found much. Shiro also hasn't been able to do much on the map because Darkseer got gimped and now doesn't necessarily have a partner to play with as Collapse is just going to have to farm up some more items.
Means you're going to be more and more reliant on Laurel, who's definitely had a lot of eyes on him as the newcomer to the TI champs. And a lot of criticism lobbied his way. And in particular, the panel talked about his matchup against Nothing to Say and how these mid laners will go toe-to-toe. Very likely will determine the outcome of this series.
Definitely a big question of how much Team Spirit have dedicated to Laurel in terms of resources in a lot of these games. Putting him on the island versus not putting him on the island. Some games they are willing to play through him, but I don't feel like it's often. In a lot of these games, it feels like he's the one who almost has to step up to salvage it. I don't think this game is in a salvage point, but he is their highest level hero, level 10 on the Ember, highest in the game. If I'm expecting someone to kind of drag Spirit into this mid game, it's got to be the Ember. Haste Rune on top of it. Level 3 in chains. He can set a lot up for the team right now. Be a nuisance for LGD. The issue is, again, do you want to just run into LGD here, their setup? Because you have to go into this global now. That is very obnoxious.
Yeah, it makes the reactive plays of LGD even stronger, right?
Yes.
You jump on some core and all of a sudden there's a supernova that's responding to you, or a global silence stopping your combo.
That's where I think it's up to the clock and disruptor. That's kind of how this lineup functions. You want to go in with the clock hook, and then your global doesn't really matter because the damage is already done. Someone's already locked in cogs with a shell, getting batteried. Right. So what? Same with the disruptor. If you glimpse somebody back, sure you can global, but it doesn't necessarily bail them out. And if you ever go on Y first, that's really nice.
And you get the hook shot onto Y, perfect. Just what you wanted. He used the global silence, but you still have the kill. Still have the kill. Uh-oh. Okay, he does run him down underneath the tower. Still going to be caught inside the arena. Static Storm comes a little bit too late, though. Should be able to get one off of this. New, the spear. Oh, looks like he's already used it. No, he throws it out now, but doesn't hit Mira.
Thank you,
Not
man.
enough for the kill. Laurel is going to play around the blood rights, and they'll play the distance. Get the kill. And take maybe the tower even. PSG.LGD.
Looking for more. They have another glimpse here.
Yeah, they're staggering into this lane one by one, and Team Spirit certainly taking advantage of that fact.
This is the pre-BKB duration where Team Spirit can just run LGD down if they ever catch him off guard, and that is basically the perfect fight for Spirit. You get a hook shot on the silencer of all heroes. That's where the global just doesn't do anything for you. And that's the situation that Team Spirit want to create. Now they have it down for 80 seconds still. They can keep poking with these glimpse plays. Get poked back a bit, but should be fine.
Pulverized, the silence is going to hit him soon. With all that damage over time, yeah, he might take out here. It's a little bit close, but he's okay.
25 damage there. Ate the bottle through it. That was way closer than I thought, actually. It's
Yeah,
the 302 build for Y, so he's actually just maxing the nukes here. Downside is you don't get the insta-steal. You know, there's some memes.
True. But at the same time, I mean, yeah, it's actually done the most damage on his team so far. Nothing to say. Rupture is always going to be really annoying for him, but if he can just sit there, thanks to, in part, the Sunray is actually going to be super helpful for that.
Yes. Sunray on these two beefy cores in the front line that have super high strength gains. Like, you're looking at two of the highest strength gains in the game, right? Outside of Tiny, 4.3 and 3.7. These are going to be some chonky boys. The Sunray is going to be very valuable. You're just going to be able to sit there and fight him back. You also have tag team, or not tag team, sidekick. Oh, geez, that can be thrown on the Mars, thrown on the Primal. Yeah, and then you're getting some extra lifesteal in there. Like, all these little things add up. It makes you live through a Rupture, or it just makes it harder for Team Spirit to commit in, especially to Toro. Then you're in a good position for LGD. They really want to just take these defensive static fights, sit there, create a brick wall, and wait out the Rupture. Then you're good to go.
Gonna go for the Clockwork. I think they would have much rather had the Darkseer, but he was out of sight. Keep their tower up. That's gonna be the first reveal of Mew's Blink Dagger, I believe.
Claps, he did recover here. He's been farming the whole time. He needed to, because he needs that.
Planet's willing to take this one if Mew can hit the spear. Little hard, though, against that Ember Spirit.
I think this is the time for Team Spirit to start picking up the pace in terms of the skirmish. Again, you want to use the clock and Darkseer while KBs are not out yet for LGD. Blink daggers are for LG, so they're looking to get aggressive themselves, but these are time to just run at heroes and punish them.
Got him on the rupture right before he onslaughts. That's perfect. TP away. Global Silence covers him. He's out. Nice coverage there from PSG.LGD. Better job than they did last series we watched that.
That's true. He learned his lesson.
Yeah.
Instant TP there. They sync it up. No delay. Okay, this is, again, I was talking about the punish coming through earlier. Now you have to abuse the fact that Global's on cooldown for 100 seconds here.
Right.
You're a much faster lineup. You have way lower CDs. You're a lineup that wants to kind of constantly be fighting with the Darkseer and the Clockwork. And yeah, it'll be a 3-man smoke from Team Spirit.
They still have this really potent zone control combo, though. Probably one of the strongest in the game. The Arena plus Supernova.
It's tough to run into, but you have to find these small openings with the supports. Then you don't have to commit in the whole team. Just shell this clock in, let him find something. Even if he finds the Primal, you're happy with that, because NTS is going to be stuck in there.
Force a reaction, see what they do.
Looks like LG is going to give up this tower. Really not wanting to take a fight without the Global, I guess.
Very surprised by that.
Maybe just super confident in their scaling here with the Marcy versus the Bloodseeker. This is a pretty hard hero for Bloodseeker to man fight in the late game.
I have not seen this matchup since Blood Mist was introduced. So I am curious to, like, late game, how much the Bloodseeker, how much better you're able to fight the Marcy because of that.
I mean, my personal belief is that nobody fights Marcy in the ultra late.
Yeah.
I don't know. The only hero I've ever seen come close to fighting 5 or 6 slotted Marcy in a fair fight, you know, we're in a one-on-one gunslinger battle, is the Ursa. And we've seen the Ursa even lose that.
Yeah, the Ursa actually lost that one in a number of duels.
So I refuse to believe that in a vacuum one-on-one Bloodseeker just straight up beats Marcy.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, a lot of other things come into play, and stuns and chain stun and buffs and all that, but in theory, this is a solid matchup where Marcy just sits there, sidekick unleash ready, and says, what are you going to do? Or it jumps you and deletes you. Because Marcy with Basher, Daedalus is still incredibly scary on the initiation.
Sure. Yeah, I actually feel like the first situation is probably the way Team Spirit maybe wins a lot of these fights. Just rupturing the Marcy and then going on everybody else. Let her just stand there. Global Sound's going to be able to cover it. PSG.LGD, they go all through this portal. They would end up behind Team Spirit, pretty nicely positioned, but they didn't pull the trigger on that.
Very split on the map right now. Another global that countered a Team Spirit initiation, but there's the low cooldown one. However, it's not on the hero that Mira wants to find.
Yeah, plus the creep wave is coming in, so gave an easy hop away to Marcy.
Team Spirit are doing fine in terms of playing the map, but they are not finding these skirmish connections that I think their lineup really thrives. Look at a Rupture new, he's just going to stand here.
And the Static Storm, Sunray is going to help him,
Okay,
but not enough. Toro's beginning to delete heroes a little bit. They're going to chase after Planet, probably get him too. With the Icarus dive not being enough, they'll get the glimpse back. He doesn't want to use the Supernova. It's pretty clear he'll just die.
LG have no TPs to help this.
Yeah.
So the Clockwork hook top that didn't yield anything on the Marcy, he gets some TPs, and it's going to open up this play bottom. This is what Team Spirit are looking for, dragging LGD around, getting their teleports on cooldown and abusing numbers advantage. And I mean, there's no bulwark up for the Mars yet. That's another reason he just gets deleted there.
Yeah.
Defensive capabilities not online for Mew. This is a very aggressive Mars build, the 440 Blink Hammer. You're pretty much just all in on the nukes in the initiation if you can find it.
Yeah, and I feel like a build like that does want... I'm not down with the fact that PSG.LGD just gave up all tempo in this game. I know they're trying to get those BKBs, but I feel like you're maybe giving too much away to Team Spirit, reacting too much.
It does feel very defensive. They haven't really been playing through NTS. I mean, again, their BKB timing is going to be very strong, so I understand playing for that. They are giving up a decent amount of net worth here. And this Bloodseeker, he's going to have some buffs. He's going to scale decently. He's going to have his timing to shine.
Well, that BKB is going to be coming in for Nothing to Say and Shiro, like, very, very soon. So they've reached that timing. They've given a 5,000 net worth lead to Team Spirit and pretty decent map control. But we'll see how much they're able to wrestle back with that big power spike.
The whole BKB is going to be huge, especially with Max Sunray behind it. It is another thing to be picking off these heroes in 2 or 3 clumps. It's another thing for Team Spirit to run into LG as 5. That is a different beast.
Right.
BKB done for NTS, BKB done for Shiro. They are flying out.
And a pickoff, too. You going to be able to get the Meteor on Miposhka. Now, by itself, it may not be enough damage. A little bit of Sunray, and nothing to say actually comes in. That's going to be enough. TP away attempted, but, oh, dive forward from Planet. Maybe not what he wanted, but the Supernova will protect him. And Mira is very, very stuck. So the first use of Supernova, I think, and first use of the BKB doesn't actually win them the fight. They're going to be vacuumed back in. Nothing to say. He's going to be left behind here. Shiro just could not get here in time.
Couldn't get the blink.
Get the blink, flight damage, still get a hit in before, and mega kill streak. Toro picking up some major steam now.
Yeah, 5-1, and didn't even have to use BKB for that. Mjolnir completed. Bloodseeker is definitely pulling ahead of the rest of the pack, and it's just off of the constant skirmishing from Team Spirit, not allowing LGD to set up a proper fight with those BKB timings and wasting the first one from the Primal. Yeah. Egg down now as well. You only have Global if you want to take a real fight. So Collapse is out of mana here. Going to limit the resources and the power from Team Spirit. No glimpse for Planet, but Surge Laurel does not care. Maybe he does care.
TP's coming in. Shiro, once again, Team Spirit able to poke and get away, forcing reactions out of LGD, but never getting caught in it. Mew and nothing to say, really got to be able to start reading this. Catch him out a little bit better. Shiro, they're going to try and get a BKB out of him. He's just going to pop the ultimate, sit in the Sunray, and dare Team Spirit to keep going.
Really is a game of cat and mouse with these BKBs.
Getting lower and lower. He really wants the heal. Shiro jumped over with the rebound to try and get some heal. Arena goes down from Mew after he gets gone on, trying to get through that one. Nothing to say. Now comes in with his BKB, but the damage, it's not looking that great. Meanwhile, Yatoro is easily able to threaten the supports. Glimpse back, and the BKB fades away. Great timing from Miposhka.
Is that bad a fight for LG? Like, Shiro just abandoned it instantly.
Yeah.
He has BKB up. This is kind of your time to fight with Marcy.
Certainly.
I'm surprised he did not commit, because that's a 3-man arena with Global going down on top of it. You don't have the egg, but you can only fight with everything up this game. That feels pretty bad for LGD as well, because I think it's pretty rare you're going to have it all.
I mean, part of it was the fact that he rebounded up to, I think, lifesteal off the creep wave right as...
I guess he just didn't have the initiation.
Yeah, the initiation went out from Mira, so I think it was just bad timing.
And LGD is not on the same page.
Yeah. It's funny that PSG.LGD maybe have fixed some of their laning phase issues and really like powered up a little bit in that regard, but simultaneously have seemed to lost some of their team fight prowess.
To be fair, this is kind of a hard game to execute. Their Team Spirit are not giving them clear openings. They're kind of abusing the fact that 1 or 2 ults are on cooldown. And I feel like Marcy as a carry is a very high execution-based carry. Like, you have to get through the lane, you have to get this battle fur, you have to farm, you have to get your items, and even then, you still have to use your spells perfectly in a fight to have the impact you want. And it's a very short interval. In general, it's not a Medusa. You just walk in there and A-click the throne.
I think they wanted that hook shot to land. No blood for you. Because there was 4 heroes smoked behind, nothing to say. They would love for Team Spirit to overcommit on a BKB hero.
I mean, LG's having issues starting the fights that they want to start.
Yeah.
That's another 5-man smoke that yields nothing. Wasted spells by Team Spirit. They still can't find the opening. And it's just on the Mars. Go back to farming.
Well, you still have the late game for PSG.LGD, right?
You do, as long
well, you have the carry-to-carry matchup late game. Do you feel like they have the overall team fight late game?
Kind of.
Okay.
I think there are supports spell scale harder.
Yeah.
But I think the Team Spirit supports will farm a lot more. So, like, you have a real possibility of getting to an Ags on the Disruptor. You have a possibility of getting to 3-4 items on the clock because you can shell them, you can shove waves. Team Spirit are controlling a lot more of the map. So in that sense, it's not that skewed. Like, Miposhka is pretty damn farm this game on Disruptor. He's a full solar point booster working towards his Ags. It's a very good Ags for Team Spirit because you have a hook shot to lead it. You can hook shot somebody, cog them back into a static storm Ags. No chance to BKB that.
Yeah.
And that's just an easy fight for Team Spirit if you ever get to that point.
And then you rupture somebody else, and that's like 2 heroes out of the fight instantly.
Exactly.
Yeah. I guess that the support impact could make the difference in, you know, the carry-to-carry matchup isn't everything in the late game.
Oh, and LG are having issues getting there right now. And like I said, I think the Marcy is just a way more difficult hero to get that impact out of than Bloodseeker.
Sure.
Bloodseekers, you're just gonna go in. Yatoro's gonna be big.
Heroes low, go fast.
Yeah, you just right-click him right. Marcy, you gotta finesse your way in with a rebound. You gotta kind of pseudo stun somebody, sidekick somebody else to get max value. Then you gotta punch somebody. I mean, it looks great when it comes together, but in competitive Dota, it's easier said than done.
Sure, you try and rebound on top of somebody, that person gets force staffed away. It's like,
yeah, then
you executed it, but they countered you.
The ultimate counter.
Meanwhile, how do you counter hero go fast?
Punch him in the face and then use his momentum against him. Tags done for Yatoro. He is big. He's really big. This is a fast timing to have BKB Mjolnir and Ags done. Aegis to boot.
Hook shot in deep. Boy, Team Spirit's really trying to force this one. Global Silence and Arena all going to be used. And Mira does not die easily in these initiations, man. They have to use so much to get this one single kill. And now Shiro's hopped outside of the base thinking they could go for more. But is it going to be able to find it? Pops BKB, pops his ultimate, starts leading into some heroes. That damage is intense. He is doing a lot during this BKB time, but they are kiting him out. Now the BKB is gone. Can
what a charge.
Nothing to say.
Didn't get it.
Outside of vision, no, he couldn't grab him in time. The pulverize was up, but he knocked him out of sight.
Got bumped behind the tree, I think.
That was so unfortunate for nothing to say. That was just nothing but pure bad luck. And he almost gets hit by the slide.
He's gonna blink.
He blink away, blink away.
What the wave? This is so...
Wait, what? Does he know that he's being charged at?
I don't understand.
A blink is up. Oh no, he got glimpsed. Now he's dead.
That was bizarre. Maybe he just didn't see him. He's right on the range, but NTS ends up going down with another BKB usage down to the 6 seconds. Does not get the connection on Laurel. That just feels bad. I mean, yeah, the damage from Shiro, it's there. He finally gets some connections. But again, your spells are on cooldown. These Spear are just going to run at you here.
Spear, not going to land. That's okay. I think Yatoro probably would have gotten that kill either way.
Blink dodge on the hook. Lucky to get out of there. So Mew does have his BKB now. These Spirit are just using the Aegis period really well.
This constant vision from the flare into the glimpse back when you're ahead like this.
It's a nice combo.
It's picking apart PSG.LGD. They're struggling to get some composure in this game. Shiro, though, oh, okay, there's something real to work with. That's going to get him his nullifier. Now these heroes are going to have a much harder time being able to run away from Shiro and kite him out.
He took 2,200 damage in about 3 seconds there to a Greaves. That is a lot of burst. That is what the Marcy can give you. Nullifier done for Shiro. That's a big item in this game. You're removing support utility from the Team Spirit side, but also all of the Darkseer spells, right? Yeah. That's a big deal here.
It does, but it leaves him unable to... I mean, I think he can fight the Bloodseeker, but I don't think he can kill the Bloodseeker most of the time, right? Because he needs Basher to be able to do that.
Not if BKB is up. If Yatoro's BKB is out and he gets caught in an arena, yeah, he's going to die. But this nullifier will be the signal for LGD to try and find another 5-on-5. This has not worked out for them so far in this game.
And if they go the right direction,
well, they're going to run right into Yatoro.
It might be perfect.
And they stun him before
scan from the Radiant, I don't think it blinked red at all. I think they somehow barely missed Yatoro, but they're still heading this direction.
Did he know he's here? This is so close to
Did they see any Blood Right animation? Why? Oh, New blinks forward, but they needed a clean jump.
Yeah, it can't be him leading. Spear is just way too slow. That is why he has Hex queued up. That Hex is a huge item if LGD can eventually get to it here. Question is, can Team Spirit continue the momentum in this game, get another Roshan, and potentially end the game with that? Everybody on their team continues to find farm. We are pushing towards this Disruptor Ags. It is not too far away here. You're looking at 700 gold left. That's it.
It's dangerous.
This is a fast 5 Disruptor Ags, really fast. But Poshka's prioritized some farm. And he's just damn tanky.
Might still find Yatoro. Once again, it requires nothing to say to be able to get the blink pulverize and then chain stun off of that. Very hard to do that if you're not smoked, especially during daytime.
trying to look for this ward that's up in the upper triangle. They force somebody on there. It's a very good obs to get some sort of jump on. Team Spirit run down instead of up, and that is foiled. And Basher done for Yatoro on top of Elven Tunic. That's going to help him man fight the Marcy as he gears his own 1v1 tools up. 1000 barrier online as well. That's some extra HP to cut through. Fights might just come down to who stuns who first.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. If you can find the opening, I feel like his ability to find the opening is way more difficult than it is for Team Spirit to find a hook shot or a glimpse on something. For sure. At least so far in this game. LG just don't have a vision mechanism either. That's a big factor in these that are oriented around a jump. You have this rocket flare, you have shells that can push in waves. You have a Ember Spirit that can go in very aggressively versus no real reliable instant stun.
Yeah, not yet anyway.
Really helps set your team fight up here, whereas New just has to close his eyes and throw out a prayer. Hope the spear lands.
Like Shiro's idea that the best crowd control is just killing them. It's just damage.
Yeah, just Daedalus.
Just Daedalus.
I mean, Daedalus is
No Basher.
probably the best item on this hero. It's just insane what it does.
A smoke during daytime might give Team Spirit, oh yeah, they're gonna have way more information now. PSG.LGD know this is coming. They have an idea of it. What do they want to do? They're gonna actually try and get in there. New going straight up into the high ground, bold as hell.
Very bold.
He's gonna jump forward. The Pulverize be able to grab him. They're pounding into the Bloodseeker, but he's out healing all this damage. The Blood Mist too powerful, and now this initiation, this fight may be over for PSG.LGD. They're gonna get guided around inside the stack.
Really rough.
Shiro fighting for his life, but the slams can only do so much for you. They get one kill and lose so much for it. Maybe a second kill, actually. Nice pickup on Collapse, but it's going to be 4 down, maybe a 5th if Maposhka had Glimpse, but no.
Just such a heads-up read by Yatoro to get out of that arena before his BKB is down. That's very close. If he's stuck in that arena and he decides to just man-fight them there, he might lose that battle. Because all of a sudden the Marcy is able to stick on you. But the fact he resets his fight, waits for the BKBs to go down on everybody, and lets Static Storm plus Evac do the work, makes all the difference here. That's 3 golden BKBs down for LGD, and suddenly you're stuck in a silence. Marcy can do nothing. The Cog back on top of it, and Blood Mist is just going to go to town.
Yeah, they really believed in the burst damage. I guess the idea there is you're going to get Bloodseeker to use his BKB, Pulverize stuns him during that period, and Shiro is supposed to kill him in that window. But they were way off on their estimations of like what kind of damage Shiro could pump out versus the tankiness of Yatoro.
And a huge factor there is that is the first BKB pop for Yatoro's game. That's a 9-second Bloodseeker BKB.
Yeah.
That makes a huge difference in that fight compared to these lower BKBs for LGD. You have NTS at 6 seconds. That was his first, but his is not as impactful here as the Bloodseeker versus the Marcy's duration.
He also has the neutral item for more evasion.
Yep, Elven Tunic also helped, and now he's almost level 25. With another Aegis, this is a good period for Team Spirit to try and end this game, get a final fight. Abuse the fact that this Bloodseeker is way out ahead right now. An Abyssal done. Gonna help this man fight versus the Marcy even more. LG need to find a way to wear out this Bloodseeker BKB and re-engage. If they can do that, they might be happy in the 5-on-5, but for now, with Aegis, no way you're gonna get that out of him, and Team Spirit are just hunting.
Nice catch.
As a free-for-all. They'll take anybody they can grab.
Certainly.
Even Shiro in trouble. Yatoro.
Oh, Yatoro can boss fight. He does easily. Rod of Atos locks him in with the Sunray over the top, doing some decent damage. Not that Yatoro's afraid. There are so many heroes dead on the side of PSG.LGD. No fear of reprisal here.
Just got ruptured on a rebound, took a crap ton of damage, and then silenced forever. I don't think he got sidekick off there. Even if he did, it did not make a difference. Toro is too damn big in this game. 11-1. And this is his time to claim throne. There is not much to stop him right now. LGD continue to look for answers in terms of how do they start the fight on their terms when Team Spirit are just running at you on the map. It's a slow start, but they ramped it up, and that Ags is done from Maposhka, by the way. So you have even more anti-BKB technology unlocked from this disruptor that is going to cause LGD big problems because they need to fight during these BKB durations. That hook shot just got a lot scarier.
Oh, yeah.
That is a free racks. Don't mind if I do.
And they still have 2.5 minutes left on the Aegis, so Team Spirit really can push for more if they want to. Take the tier 2 top and then start another siege of the high ground. And I feel like the fight isn't that much different for PSG.LGD on their high ground. I mean, I guess the initiation is easier.
Maybe get a clutch spear back or something.
Yeah, that's definitely the biggest move they can make.
But honestly, I don't know if you can win the fight into the Bloodseeker Aegis. I think you have to wait it out. I think your one hope is bursting Yatoro down with the Marcy crits, and just after his BKB is out, Aegis makes that impossible. Not to mention, there's a crap ton of other team fighting problems for you in this game, but that is step one. If Bloodseeker's alive, you're not winning the fight. What was that?
Mindbreaker for the 2 carries. Do even more damage, champ.
Now, something big in this game that LGD never got to was his Primal Beast Dags for the break.
Oh, yeah.
That is a
big
significant
point.
factor here versus the Thirst. I mean, of course, it doesn't help during this BKB of Yatoro, which has been the main issue, but NTS opted for the Halberd over that. Now he's going back. He might not ever get there, but that is something that can help this Bloodseeker matchup. At least from the Primal Beast side. I mean, I don't know if there's anything helping this matchup in terms of where Yatoro is right now, but you can try.
Yeah, especially when he's about to be level 25. Soon he's going to be able to rupture both Nothing to Say and Shiro.
Talent.
Searching for an opening here. Gonna go for New. Blink and Abyssal Blade, kill him off.
And that's level 25. I feel like Yatoro almost wanted that kill just for the talent rather than the kill.
Yeah.
Like, I need some XP, guys. Oh, I'll take this dude. Aegis up for 50 seconds here.
Might as well just barrel into the high ground.
Another lane, set the fight up. Now, there is a buyback on you. LGD want to try something, but he's also their initiation in a way.
Yeah, there's no way to start the fight, buy back, and successfully catch heroes.
I guess you can just blink in and pulverize somebody.
Yeah, that's hard though. I'm not sure if that would even last long enough.
And they're still trying to wait out this Aegis. Still have 15 seconds left. That is what Yatoro was hitting there for, and he'll back off. Play it disciplined here. Give LGD nothing off another smoke that will not even get them to fight.
Does show that PSG.LGD, like, they put everything together. It's possible for them to win a fight. They win that one fight, that's going to be, you know, 5, 8, 10,000 gold swing that they're going to be able to get off hero kills and farming up and stuff. And that could give them some very specific items like you're talking about, like the Aghanim Scepter, like Shiro getting more damage in general with the Daedalus pickup. And yeah, look at that kill streak that is available on Yatoro.
It's a big one.
That kill's gonna be worth like 2,000 gold by itself.
I mean, if they win a fight, it's gonna be a 10 or 11k swing.
Yeah.
That's easier said than done, though. It's very difficult to win this fight right now, especially if Team Spirit just opt to wait for another Aegis here. If you're LGD, I don't think you can give up another Roshan. I think it's just a death sentence. Aegis on Yatoro has proved impossible to counteract here. So then you're going to put LGD in a position where they have to smoke into you. You're even happy if you're Team Spirit in that scenario. You can abuse buybacks. You can abuse the Darkseer back counter initiation.
I think that talent says a lot. The 20 talent from Shiro, where he opted for the stun duration over the movement speed. I think he knows that, like, once Team Spirit start kiting him out, there's not much he could do to stop it. Like, he needs the 100-0 burst on Hero.
Means you need to land some stuns.
Yeah.
You need to chain him up. There's going to be glimpses. There's going to be hook shots, vacuums, a lot that can counteract some of these initiations from LGD. You just got to commit and commit hard, I think. Throw everything on Yatoro.
Rupture, used on Shiro. Shiro's gonna run through it all. TP out. Hook shot in.
Is
They're
not
trying
a
to stop
play.
this one. And they go in deep for Shiro, but he's fighting back. The heals. Not gonna be good enough. He got Hogs pushed away in the rupture.
Oh, that back.
And now the vacuum
Into the storm.
Yatoro.
See you later.
Slice and dice them up one by one. Go through the heroes. Glimpse away to keep them at bay as the buybacks come out. Team Spirit do a great job of retreating and not getting caught.
4 buybacks here for LGD, and they get a clock. And not even with the buys, they just got him earlier. I mean, Sunray looks great in these fights. But the initiation, the reset, and the rego from Team Spirit is just way too disciplined right now. LGD do not have the lockdown to deal with it. The lack of BKB disable is really being taken advantage of here by Team Spirit.
Yeah, Team Spirit's looking good right now, execution-wise.
That's just such a damn clean fight. So clean. I don't know if Shiro understood that you can't, like, somebody either needs to take that hook shot or you can't just run the rupture off like that. That was a very poor setup to that fight. Like a base defense fight situation, he lived for a decent amount of time on 200 HP. That's not an easy go to just go in on the Marcy with Sunray behind, but kill yourself.
Why? He's like, I'll help you, brother. Picks up a martyr's plate. I'll help you, Shiro. I'll help you deal with the damage.
I don't know if reflecting it onto a silencer here is gonna last very long.
Give me 20% of your load, brother.
He probably just wants it for the magic resist, honestly. I don't know if he's gonna activate it.
We'll see. I mean, honestly, every little bit, like, Shiro was pretty close to, well, maybe not surviving, but
He can stand his
living a
ground.
little longer.
The issue is once the BKB is out, he's pretty much dead there 100%. So that, you know, standing his ground looks great until the second afterwards. You get a Shiva's for Planet. Surprised he got there. It is a big item in this game. Daedalus for Shiro. About as good as it's going to get for LG, down 35k. I don't know if Team Spirit need to wait for this next Roshan. They have Swift Link on Yatoro. You shell him, you surge him, he's going to be a fast boy.
He is so damn quick.
And of course that blink Ags on Mapochka, ready to follow up on pretty much any hookshot back initiation. If LG do not instantly press BKBs, there's a large world where Team Spirit just leverage that into a sealed teamfight victory, especially with no buybacks here. You can get really aggressive.
Smoke wrap around as the creep wave pushes in.
Planet's in a weird spot right now.
Yeah, Planet wanted to be able to stop the wave and get out, but now they spotted him. Oh, it's really awkward now. He pops the dive with
behind.
Let's get some vision. Maybe
Nice on Yatoro.
Yatoro finds
did.
them. He took one. He do manage to get a stun. The pulverize, the damage, but the hookshot comes in and a missile way to stop him. And Yatoro now starts retreating, and Shiro is just running himself to death now. Force staff rebound, trying to get forward onto Yatoro, but it's just not going to work for him. The rest of the team without their carry will now fall apart, and GG is called. One last desperate attempt by PSG.LGD to bring this game one back, but it fails, and Team Spirit will take the lead.
Maybe if they found that opening 20 minutes ago,
Yeah.
it would look a bit different, but Team Spirit just never gave them anything to take advantage of in that game and just played those fights immaculately. This is a very strong team fight team. They understand how to play their lineup. Yatoro knows when he needs to go in, when he needs to back out. Very impressive game from him. Of course, 16-1 on the Bloodseeker, but Laurel was